to say about that. John McCain was to be an American Idol, but he suddenly turned into Benedict Arnold. He was extremely disloyal to Americans as he becomes a part of Democratic Party. His disgust to President Trump leads to this coward step. But the president had only 3 harsh words to say about him today, unlike the American nation, which opinion is that McCain should go back to Arizona and stay there until the end of his time. Americans were victims 7 long years, and some even died, because of Obamacare. This morning, the Republicans tried once again to gain 50 votes and start the revoke process of Obamacare. If all Republicans who promised that they would do everything to revoke Obamacare voted for that, now this process would have been already started, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. There was only one person who broke his promise, John McCain. His refusal to follow through his promise means much more to the American people because it's directly connected to tax relief. If Obamacare doesn't exist anymore, it would free millions of dollars that will go back to the American workers. The sad truth is that if McCain had to depend on Obamacare, he would have been dead by now. Under Obamacare, he would still be waiting to schedule a surgery, and by then the tumor would have metastasized and he would have died. If McCain didn't disappoint us and Trump like this, the Obamacare wouldn't be an issue by now. But now Trump has to work hard to start that process again. Please share this post on Facebook if you stand with Trump. What is your opinion on this? Scroll down to comment below. Petition, 100,000 signatures to force Congress to use Obamacare. This is justice. Illegal alien leeching welfare for 20 years gets deported to Mexico. If you ask the lying lefties about the immigrants, they will say that they are the most innocent people that ever lived on this planet. They will add how they are not violent and that they do not represent a threat to the American society. They will say anything different from Trump's opinion, all in order to make him look bad. That is why they attacked the president about his decision to sign the travel ban. Well, the travel ban is actually the best thing that happened to this nation. Thanks to it, the real danger will no longer walk freely. Proud Patriots reports that a mother of 4 living in Ohio was deported to Mexico after a traffic stop exposed her for being illegal for nearly 20 years. According to reports by CBS News, 37-year-old Beatriz Morelos Garcilas was arrested for driving without a license near Cleveland, Ohio. After the arrest, she was deported back to Nuevo Laredo, one of the most dangerous places in Mexico. Her husband, on the other hand, has a legal working visa. He only wants his wife to be safe, but also together with their other relatives. He thinks that this is unfair. Christian Enrique Gutierrez Morelos and his wife, Sonia, are aching over the quick deportation of their Aunt Beatriz. Christian stated, "She's scared. I believe she's more scared for her children than for her right now." Elizabeth Ford, an immigration attorney working on Beatriz's behalf, said, "What happened to Beatriz was the direct result of the new administration and the policies that have been given to ICE. People with no criminal history are being told they have to leave the country in a very short amount of time when they've built an entire life here with children and houses and families and jobs." Thomas Holman, acting ICE director, responded, "ICE prioritizes arrests based on criminal threats, national security, those who violate immigration laws." They defend her by saying how the woman is decent and didn't have any criminal history. Are you kidding me? She lives illegally in here for 20 years. She was even driving without a license. Are the relatives concerned about her children? I ask, considering the fact of the careless position she put them in. Sean Hannity exposes horrifying Trump assassination plan to Secret Service. Donald Trump has faced liberal hate like we've never seen since he became the President of the United States. Many liberals have been calling for violence against the president, including Rosie O'Donnell and Kathy Griffin. While O'Donnell promoted an online game that featured killing Trump, Griffin released a video in which she was holding a severed bloody head that resembled the president. What do you call 2 comedians who are no longer funny? Dopes full of jealous hate. It doesn't stop here. Actor Johnny Depp also joked about killing Trump. Fortunately, Trump has his loyal supporters who always have his back. This time, one Twitter user who goes by the name Lori Wise called for killing the president. TV host Sean Hannity caught her, notified the Secret Service and exposed her publicly before she could delete her tweets. As you can see from her tweets, not only she called for Trump's death but she also called him names such as maniacal, child rapist and whack job. She also blamed him for the incident that occurred in Charlottesville. Sean Hannity is right. The media always tells that the conservatives are spreading racism and hatred when in reality is the opposite. USA News Flash reports, it seems ironic that the liberals try so desperately to put the blame of hate speech and condoning violence on Trump and his administration when they are the ones publicly speaking their fantasies and encouraging people to do violent acts. For example, we can take the GOP shooting which took place not long ago, hospitalizing several lawmakers, which was initially started by a Democratic supporter. Lori Wise is not the first person to call for Trump's murder. As we mentioned before, celebrities have been also calling for Trump's death. They are setting a bad example and spread hatred among the citizens. The Secret Service will take this death threat seriously and visits this crazy liberal. People who call for the death of President Donald Trump need to be prosecuted. Do you agree? What Trump just released all but guarantees he will get re-elected in 2020. This will get President Trump a second term. All he has to do when the liberals attack, like they are now off what he did and did not say about Virginia, is show his record. When 2020 comes, no matter who he will take on, all he has to do is tout his record. Advertisement: the American people know why we voted for Trump and we know he has been following through on his promises as best he can. The Democrats have fooled middle America too many times with fake promises while they line their pockets. All Trump has to do when it gets tight, and the election will be tight, is remind voters of his record. It is a devastating message and a guaranteed winner for one simple reason. Trump has basically stolen a key part of the Democrats' economic message. Key because they are the swing voters in the swing states. They're key to the election and the Democrats lost them. All Trump has to do to win is remind the unions and other longtime Democratic power bases of his record versus the Democrats and he wins easily. Democrats obstructing. The media attacking our president. Career politicians standing in the way of success, but President Trump's plan is working, the newly released ad says. Correct. It is working for all to see. 1 million jobs created, more Americans working than ever before, unemployment, lowest since 2001, the stock market, all-time record high, the strongest military in decades. The president's enemies don't want him to succeed, but Americans are saying let President Trump do his job. Advertisement: simple, true, and absolutely devastating. Mike Huckabee silences Dems bashing Trump over Virginia comments with 8 brutal words. White nationalists and counter-protesters attended the Unite the Right event that took place in Charlottesville in Virginia. Before the start of the rally, both groups clashed and the police started dispersing the crowd. As a result of the violence, the Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe declared a state of emergency. Both parties condemned the protest, including House Speaker Paul Ryan and President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump is among those who are being condemned after he commented about the violence. He said, "We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides." As you can see, he didn't mention these 2 words white supremacists, but saying on many sides is what got him in trouble. However, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee defended Trump. He appeared on Justice with Judge Jeanine on Fox News this Saturday. He asked one question which will make you wonder if Trump is fairly criticized. Huckabee compared Trump's comments with those of the previous President Barack Obama. As reported by Mediate, Huckabee said Trump is being held to a double standard, and so what is he supposed to say? Is he supposed to do what Barack Obama used to do and jump to conclusion and make a decision like he did in Ferguson, Missouri, which turned out to be totally untrue? Huckabee defended Trump's comments regarding the incident in Charlottesville. He also said that the president needs to be careful in taking steps. Before Trump jumps to any conclusions, he needs to have all the facts. As Independent Journal Review reports, Huckabee said, "I thought what he condemned was what we all could immediately condemn, and that was the violence, the car some coward in a car drove into innocent people to try and kill them. And he condemned that. What else is he supposed to do at that point?" A car drove through the counter-protesters group on the street in downtown Charlottesville. The driver bashed the car into the people, which resulted in the death of one woman and injury to 20 people. The driver was identified as James Alex Fields Jr. Although he left the site of the crash, he was arrested later and is currently held at a Virginia jail on the count of a second-degree murder, malicious wounding, and failure to stop an accident that resulted in death. According to Huckabee, he should also be charged with an act of domestic terrorism. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims of this awful incident. Pete Hegseth beats down Fox host after she viciously attacks Trump on live TV. Ever since Donald Trump took the office, he has been under attack. The liberals are taking every opportunity to bash the president. Now that Trump is having some difficulties running the office, it became a trend to attack him. Even some of the conservatives are bashing him. However, there are also people who are strongly supporting the president and aren't following some ridiculous trends. Recently, on a broadcast at the Fox Business Network, anchor Dagan McDowell tried to blame President Donald Trump for the fractiousness among Republican lawmakers. "You talk about eating each other? The problem is President Trump. When he was running for the nomination, he gobbled up Republicans right and left like him and Dems. Little Marco, Lie and Ted, Low Energy Jeb, he decimated, he destroyed, the party and they resent it," she said. Conservative 101 reports, added co-host Jillian Turner, "Is it smart for the president, if you're looking at strategy, is it smart for him to try and potentially throw Mitch McConnell under the bus?" At last, Pete Hegseth expressed his support for the president. "What doesn't help is when you have senators like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski who run against Obamacare and then they vote with Democrats," he said. "It's not easy for Trump to keep his promises when his own party doesn't support him." Because of Senators Collins, Murkowski, and McCain, Trump couldn't repeal and replace the Obamacare. Conservative 101 reports, he added, "There are the ones shooting inside the tent. This president wants to do all the things they said they wanted to do on the campaign trail, yet because he is a little bit different, he's outside the box, he speaks differently, they can't get behind him." Watch more below. We need more people like Pete. The president needs our support more than ever.